Hello, this is Chris.
Chris, you're on with Gary and Kyle.
How are you guys?
Hey,
Kyle,
what's up?
You are the man.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate that.
What about me, bro?
No,
You're just you.
You're the mentor, the guru. Well, I won't use guru.
There we go.
But Kyle, I've corrupted my 13-year-old into watching you back in the Monster Energy days, and also when you were running the 54 on the truck.
Oh, there
Love
you go.
it.
Nice.
Love it. Real fans. What's your question, my friend?
I am a very big car enthusiast, let alone I guess we call it NASCAR super fan.
Okay.
But more importantly, I am starting a podcast with Rodney Allen Rippey from Jack in the Box fame, and he is a huge car fan.
Okay.
We have gone out and done the social media test marketing, we'll call it, with the nostalgia that you're so big in.
Yep.
And it's gone very, very well. When
Makes
it's
sense.
his face, his name, anything to do with the past and the history, we do very well. And if it's a new current face we put him with in just about anything. But, we got one great shot of launching this. We're going to do it in SEMA 2018 this year.
You're already over.
But where
let me give you a very good piece of advice. Do not put that fake pressure on yourself that you have one chance to launch this thing. It's the biggest mistake that people make with media properties and businesses. They think there's this, especially if you haven't done it before, or it's natural human nature, right? You want to come out the gate. It's probably no different than starting Daytona off on the right foot, everything. Like when I
You want to win right away. You ain't gonna win right away. You got to build into it.
I really don't want. Here's why I'm most worried about it, my friend. I don't want you to do behaviors that so overvalue the short term in something where you're playing for life. You're trying to build something that you hope pays for your livelihood around a passion you have, I assume, right? The idea is you'd love for this to be, whether it's a podcast or a media property, this is what you do for the rest of your life, making the kind of money that lets you live the lifestyle you want. Is that correct?
It's one of a few components. I am definitely on your, willing to eat shit as long as it takes mode.
Good. So then I would say everything sounds great. Don't worry about the launch, because it may be episode 96 that really turns the tide. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And
absolutely.
The luxury you have is that you don't work for a television network. Like ESPN didn't buy the rights to you, and then the ratings were bad after 3 and they cancel it. You have full control of content and distribution. You don't have to worry about popping because you're not at the mercy of Nielsen ratings and advertisers and all the other dynamics that traditional media had to worry about. If you had a radio show, 20 years ago around this subject matter, if your first 6 weeks didn't go well, you're finished. I mean, here in New York, Mike Francesa was the legendary sports guy. He left, retired. They put in a show. It lasted like 5 weeks, and Francesa was back because the ratings weren't there. You don't have that. So I think before you even ask the question to make the launch pop, make sure that you realize you don't need the launch to pop. It'd be nice for it to be great, but don't over worry about that.
Perfect. No, I really appreciate that, because it's to the point where I've got some good guests lined up and things, and we're going out at a really good time. It's just a matter of I didn't want to leave those 4 other things on the table, partly because I didn't know what these next 4 things should be. So that's helped out very well.
Good. Yeah, let it come to you. I think, Kyle, just for fun here, just because I love sports and like strategy and the story. I promise you, in 19 years. When I run into you on something, I'm going to recall this because I don't forget things that hit me. The fact that you recorded those races, it was over before it started. You were so mentally knowledgeable.
Yeah.
It's how I think about everything. That's such a remarkable advantage that you had.
I would presume that that's why I could be as good as I am today, but I would say that it's also due to a lot of hard work over the course of the years, right?
No question.
But there was a basis, there was a start. So
just knowing how the chess moves played out.
Yeah.
And so let me ask you a question based on that, and this is going to help Chris here a little bit. I'm very curious about how you handle a bad start to a race. Mm-hmm. And just to me, the psychology of everything is so interesting. I just know for fact, without knowing any of the racers, that there's a certain percentage of guys who, if it doesn't start right, are just in a bad place.
Yeah, I would agree. Absolutely. I've had those moments. I would admit that when something bad starts and it doesn't quite go right, that it's like, it's over before it started or whatever. You start cussing on the radio and throwing everything all over the place.
Yelling at somebody on a team.
Right? Throwing people under the bus, whatever it might be. But Sometimes you can work your way back out of those.
What is the greatest work your way out of race of your career?
Oh man.
Just really go there with me right now, because I think it's interesting. Do you remember a race, or maybe like the first 10 laps, or fucking, I don't know, like all 4 tires fell off the car in the first lap and then you won it? Like, if you like really thought, I'm buying you some time here to think, really thought about like, what's the race that I won in my career on the big stage that in the series, not earlier than that I did not think I was, like the one that I most did not think I was going to win?
There's plenty of those out there, but
but that has a.
I would say that there was a race at Watkins Glen years ago where the first few pace laps, like you're scrubbing your tires back and forth, you're speeding up, slowing down, trying to warm your brakes up and stuff.
Okay.
And you feel that the lead within the frame rails of the car to make the car make weight to go over scales is loose. Like nobody put the spacers in there that hold the lead tight against the bolts. So it's sliding forward when you're on the brakes and it's going backwards when you're on the gas. So it keeps moving and it's a big slam. Like this is 80 pounds sliding around in the frame rail of the car.
I have no idea what he's saying, but it sounds so fucking smart. Keep going.
So we had to come down pit road before the race started and actually take the bolt out of the frame rail, put the spacers in there to space it back where it needed to be, put the bolt back in, and I had to start in the back, and I came back through, and I don't recall if I won that one, but I know that I finished.
What the fuck? That was the whole point of it.
I know, well.
Dude, what
I know I finished top 5, but I don't remember if I finished second.
Tell me the truth. When you
remember.
first started telling the story, you thought you won, and as you were telling it, you're like, fuck, wait a minute, maybe I didn't win. And these internet dudes are like in there like, fuck you, dude, you came in third, 13 seconds off the pace.
Which one? Well, yeah.
Hold on. What? He broke his foot and won the race? And won the race.
Okay, no.
Okay.
No, it's different than that.
Yeah.
Tell me what it is. Tell me what it is. Tell me what it is. Get in here. Chris, get in here. What was it?
It was Daytona, had a bad crash, was out a good portion of the season.
And the first race he came
probably
back?
Some of the most determined person there is in racing. He came back and pointed his way into the championship and won it.
I also won races, by the way, to get my way back in.
I get that.
But yeah.
Yeah. Well.
So what, you think Kyle's really awesome, right? Like, does your son like obsess over Kyle?
Yeah, more so in trucks and bush because they're shorter races and he doesn't have the attention span. But that's why he started back when Kyle was still running the 54.
Yeah. Yep. Those were the truck
and
days.
I understand.
The other thing is Kyle's got 92 wins in the secondary series of what I'll call the Bush series.
Okay.
And we went so often that we watched Kyle win every weekend when we were there live.
Let's actually talk about this. So you're telling me your son is a front runner and jumps on bandwagons?
No, he started in diapers at 2 years old watching Kyle.
I love it. So that means you made him watch Kyle, because I don't know any 2-year-old that's like, oh, there's Kyle, I'm going to be a fan.
He loved Hot Wheels, and
Fair
Hot
enough.
Wheels were live, and they were racing around the track.
This is a good battle, Chris. I respect where you come from. Listen,
M&M's, that had something to do with it probably.
Chris, let me give you a piece of advice. It sounds like you're also doing some content with new faces. When you do that, run Instagram and Facebook ads to the tune of $100 to $1,000 a piece around people that are fans of those things.
Okay.
So like, for example, I'll take this Ask Gary Vee show and we will run this episode on Facebook and Instagram against fans of... We're doing it with the live right now. We're running ads against this live right now against what? NASCAR. So it's really what's amazing about the new world is Kyle's getting new exposure to my world and all the entrepreneurs that are watching. And honestly, I think what's most interesting to me is entrepreneurs tend to be very creative and get caught into storytelling. I'm just fascinated how many people are going to actually now watch or become fans off of this. That's how it all works, and vice versa. You'll be able to do that with the people that you put the new faces on with him. So make sure you do that as well, okay?
Absolutely, yeah, and I'll tell you, I'm not a bandwagon guy.
I know you're not. No, I was making a joke, brother.
My dad was a senior fan. My mom was a DW fan, so for the NASCAR people, they'll know that.
Yep.
Nice. Yeah.
I was an Alan Quickie fan, and unfortunately, he passed away as a champion in a crash at Bristol, and I followed this guy called Jeff Gordon, so I've been around there forever.
Heard there. I respect that, buddy. I'm joking around.
Nice.
Take care.
Right on, man. Thanks.
Good guy. Let's get another one like that, Andy.